Salvete! Hello everybody, my name is Stephen and welcome to my channel for learning Latin. This is a beginner's video, part of a beginner's course, and we've covered quite a lot of ground already. We've looked at different declensions, 3 different declensions, and we've looked at 3 different conjugations of the Latin verb. And I thought today it would be a good idea just to take stock and do a little bit of revision of those verb conjugations before we move on too far ahead. So let's consider the first declension. The first conjugation is for verbs ending in are in the infinitive, such as amare. Do you remember that one? To love, amare. Salutare, to greet. Vocare, to call. So they all end in are. You take off the are. So for instance, amare, take off the are, gives you am, which is a stem. And then to that stem you add your personal endings. So it's going to go amo, amas, amat, amamos, amatis, amant. Amo, amas, amat, amamos, amatis, amant. If we took vocare, to call, spelled with a V, V-O-C, vocare, it's going to go voco, vocas, vocat, vocamos, vocatis, vocant. So any are verb follows that pattern. Right, second conjugation. Can you remember any of those, guys? What about the verb to have? Habere. Well done if you remember that. Habere. Right. Take off the ere. So we have a long ere, long e for second conjugation. Take off the ere, you get habe. And then we add the following ending. So this time it's ao, habeo, I have. Habes, habet. Habemus, habetis, habent. What about the verb to hold? Remember, tenacious. Tenere. Tenere. Take off the ere, gives you the stem ten. Add the endings. Teneo, I hold. Tenes, you hold. Tenet, he, she. Tenemus, tenetis, tenent. Teneo, tenes, tenet. Tenemus, tenetis, tenent. We had the verb to sit. Sedere. Take off the ere, it gives you sed. Sedeo, sedes, sedet. Sedemus, we. Sedatis, you plural. Sedent. So we've gone o, ars, at. Armus, artis, ant. Eo, ace, et. Amus, atis, ent. Again. O, ars, at. Armus, artis, ant. First conjugation. Any are verb. Eo, ace, et. Amus, atis, ent. Second conjugation for long ere verbs. And then the last one that we've met so far, there are 4 conjugations in Latin. The 4th one we'll introduce in the next unit. But in terms of the third conjugation, they also in the infinitive form end in ere, although this one isn't a long ere like the second conjugation. It's just a short ere. Alright, so you can just write ere. So in some books you might see this little symbol. I like to use that. It just means it's a short sound instead of a long one. Or you can just write an e with nothing above it. It's ere. So which verbs did we come across? Maybe scribere. Do you remember that one, guys? Scribere, to write. So take off the ere, gives you the stem. Scribe, scribo, scribis, scribit. Scribimus, scribitis, scribunt. So this time we get I coming in and an unt for the they form, third person plural. Scribo, scribis, scribit. Scribimus, scribitis, scribunt. What about to read? Think about if something's legible, you can read it. The infinitive is legere, also third conjugation. Take off the ere, gives you the stem leg, leg. Lego, legis, legit. Legimus, we read. Legitis, legunt, they read. Lego, legis, legit. Legimus, legitis, legunt. We had to lead, like the duke. Ducere, stem duc, D-U-C. Therefore, duco, I lead. Ducis, you. Ducit, he, she. Ducimus, ducitis, ducunt. Duco, ducis, ducit. Ducimus, ducitis, ducunt. Duco, ducis, ducit. Ducimus, ducitis, ducunt. O, ars, at. Armus, artis, ant. Eo, ace, et. Amus, atis, ant. O is it. Hemos itis und. Now, you may recall, if you've been following the videos, that excuse me, that there is a subgroup, a subcategory of the third conjugation, and there are some that have io for the first person singular and iunt. The rest is all the same. It's just the I form and the they form actually gets a letter I as well. So io and iunt. So can you remember any verbs like that? What about the verb to do? Begins with an F. Facere. So that would be facio, faciunt. The rest is the same. Facis, facit, facio, faciunt. What about to flee? Like a fugitive. Fugere. Fugio, I flee. Fugiunt, they flee. To take hold of. Like a capture. Capere. Capio, capiunt. Alright? To seize or to snatch. Rapere. Rapio, rapiunt. Alright? So in a dictionary that would be presented as IO, and so then you just know, okay, it's one of them. But most third conjugation verbs just have the O and the unt, and the others, as I said, follow that pattern anyway. Alright, so that's what we've covered, and it's not a bad idea to sometimes just look at it like that comparatively, and just to practice using different verbs, revising what we've covered, not rushing too much to move on without having learnt things properly in the first place. Otherwise it'll all just become a fog and you'll get confused. Okay, so I hope this is helpful just to present it in that manner. Let's now learn something a little bit new, and I want to introduce 6 new verbs, 2 from each conjugation, just to add to our repertoire, add to our vocabulary list. So without further ado, let's jump to this board. I apologise, there's a little bit of glare here. I'm sorry, my lighting, I've not got the best professional outfit, and I'm just using a few lamps because it's getting a bit dark here. So I'm sorry it's reflecting from my glasses a little bit. I hope you can still tolerate the presentation. Right, 2 are verbs, first conjugation. Whenever you see are, it's got to be first conjugation, but the dictionary may give you a number 1 to indicate that. Invitare. I've not put the English because I think it's easy. To invite. To invite. And you invite someone to something, right? So that's going to be ad plus accusative. So how would we conjugate this, guys? Invitare. Take off the are from the infinitive. Stem is invit. Invito, invitas, invitat, etc. I invite. Invito. I invite a friend. Amicum, accusative. Invito. All right. We invite. Invitamos. We don't invite. Non invitamos. All right. Easy. Invitare. Right. Nuntiare. Nuntiare. This is a nice one. It means to announce. Nuntiare. And nuntius, second conjugation, is a messenger. Nuntius. Nuntiare. Nuntio, nuntias, nuntiat. Nuntiamus, nuntiatis, nuntiant. You take off the are, it gives you nunti. The I stays, it's part of the stem, that's going to remain there always. Nuntio, nuntias, nuntiat. I announce, you announce, he, she announces. Invitare, nuntiare. Nuntiare. Remember the question word. What? Quid. What are you announcing? Quid nuntias. What's the master announcing? Quid dominus nuntiat he. Quid dominus nuntiat. All right. Second conjugation, ere. Timere. We had the adjective timidus. Timid, afraid, fearful. Timere is to fear. Stem is tim. Timeo, times, timet. Timemus, timetis, tement. Timeo, times, timet. Timemus, timetis, tement. I'm afraid. Timeo. I'm not afraid. Non timeo. You're afraid, one person. Times. She's not afraid. Non timet. All right. Timere. Timere. In the little story I did in one of the last videos, I said the gladiator came up against this huge lion and he ran away. So we could say the gladiator fears or is afraid of the lion. Gladiator timet leonem. Accusative. Leonem gladiator timet. But we're not afraid of the lion. Nos we leonem non timemus. Non timemus. Timeo timere. This next one's an interesting one. Iubere. Iubere. It means to order in the sense of to command. The master ordered me to carry the water. Commanded me. That's a yo. We had the first conjugation verb, iuare. Do you remember that one? To help. You owe, you asked, you had. Iuare. This is yo. Iubere. Therefore, iubeo. I order or command. Iubeo. Iubes. Iubet. Iubemus. Iubetis. Iubent. Again. Iubeo. Iubes. Iubet. I, you, he, she. Iubemus. We. Iubetis. You plural. Iubent. The master orders. Dominus iubet. We order. Iubemus. Whoever you are ordering, or whomsoever you are ordering, is going to be your accusative. And then because of the nature of the verb, you're going to need a second verb, aren't you? I order you to do something, and that's going to be an infinitive. For instance, te, you, one person, te iubeo. Vinum, the wine, portare. Portare, to carry. Carry the wine like a porter. Te iubeo, I order you. Vinum portare. Because we've conjugated the first verb, iubeo, you don't need to conjugate the second one. You just put the infinitive. And that's why it's portare. The master orders me, to work. Dominus me, iubet. Laborare. Dominus me, iubet. Laborare. Iubeo, iubes, iubet. Iubemus, iubetis, iubent. To order, plus an infinitive. Alright? So, invitare. Nuntiare. Timere. Iubere. Let's have two third conjugation verbs. Alright? Correre. Correre is to run. Alright? To run. Corro, corris, corret. Corremus, corretis, corrunt. Corro, corris, corret. Corremus, corretis, corrunt. Again, corro, corris, corret. Corremus, corretis, corrunt. Alright? Nice one. And the final verb for today is the verb to say, which is a dicere. Notice a long E. Dicere. Stem dic. Dico, I say. Dicis, you say. Dicit, he, she. Dicimus, dicitis, dicunts. Dicunts, they say. Quid dicunt. What do they say? What are they saying? Quid dicis. What are you saying? Dico, salve. I say, greetings, hello. Dico, dicis, dicit. Dicimus, dicitis, dicunt. Dico, dicis, dicit. Dicimus, dicitis, dicunt. Dicere. The dictates, the dictator. Someone in charge may issue an edict, some kind of order, alright? So it's all to do with speech, giving out speech and instructions. Dicere, to say. So currere and dicere for that pattern, and they're going to get is, it, imus, etc. So in a dictionary that would appear curro. They usually give you the first person. Curro, currere, the infinitive, and maybe a number, and then straight away you know which conjugation it is, how to adapt it to the different persons. All right, these are obviously all present tense. Few items of vocab, just revision really. I think maybe one new one. Cena is dinner, evening meal. Cena. Victoria is a victory. Now we've had the verb pugnare. Pugnus is your fist. Gladiator pugna, to fight. Pugna is the noun, that is a fight, a kind of battle, so a fight. We're going to watch the fight, all right, in the arena, okay? Pugnam spectare, to watch as a spectator. Pugnam spectare. Bellum is a neuter word, that's war. We've covered that, so it's just revision. And the word for never is numquam. Numquam. Cana, dinner. Victoria, victory. Pugna is a fight. Bellum, war. Numquam. Right. I hope that's all right. Let's make a few sentences, guys, just to practice this. The master invites the friend, masculine, to dinner. To is going to be ad plus accusative. The master invites the friend, which is his friend, to dinner. Dominus invitat, from invitare, invitat. Amicum, accusative. Ad caenam, accusative. Dominus amicum ad caenam invitat. Dominus amicum ad caenam invitat. Often. Do you remember that word? Time word. Begins with S. Saipe. Dominus amicum saipe ad caenam invitat. The master never invites the gladiator to dinner. The master never invites the gladiator to dinner. Dominus gladiatorem, accusative, third declension. Numquam ad caenam invitat. Dominus gladiatorem numquam ad caenam invitat. Because the master is afraid, fears the gladiator. Because the master fears the gladiator. Quod, because. Dominus gladiatorem timet. Yeah. Timet. But we do not fear the gladiator. Sed nos gladiatorem non timemus. Dominus gladiatorem numquam ad caenam invitat. Quod Dominus gladiatorem timet, sed nos we gladiatorem non timemus. Invitare ad invitare. Today I invite the merchant to the house, to the villa. Today I invite the merchant to the house. We're going to have a dinner party and talk business. Hodie mercatorem ad villam, accusative, invito. Invitare, I invito. Hodie invito mercatorem ad villam. Not too concerned about the word order. Main thing is the endings. All right. What about the matron orders, commands the slave girl to prepare dinner? Do you remember slave girl? Ancilla. The matron orders a slave girl to prepare dinner. The verb is parare. Let's do the first bit. The matron orders a slave girl. She's going to be accusative, right? Matrona iubet ancillam. Or matrona ancillam iubet. To prepare, infinitive. Parare caenam, accusative. So two accusatives in that sentence. Whom is she ordering? The slave girl, therefore. She's direct object. But because the verb to order requires a second verb for it to make sense, that second verb to prepare what? There's another object there, so it's a second accusative, all right? Matrona ancillam iubet caenam parare. Matrona ancillam iubet caenam parare. If there's more than one slave girl, Anche las iubet cain imparare. The master orders the slave to work in the garden. The master orders a slave to work in the garden. The word is hortus. Dominus servum iubet in horto laborare. Dominus servum iubet in horto, ablative, place, laborare, in horto laborare. Iubet, orders. All right. What else can we do? What about the boy runs to the villa? Again, to is ad plus accusative. The boy runs to the villa. Puer ad villam curret. Correre, corret. He, she, corret. The merchants run to the forum because they desire money. The merchants run to the forum because they desire money. Let's do the first half. The merchants run to the forum. Mercatores, nominative plural. Ad forum currunt. Mercatores ad forum currunt, because, quod, pecuniam, can you remember their desire? Bit like Cupid. Desire. The verb is copere. Copiunt. It's one of those that gets eo and iunt in the plural. Copiunt. Quod pecuniam copiunt. Mercatores ad forum currunt, quod pecuniam copiunt. Very good. What else can we say? How about, let's use the verb dicere. What are you saying, talking to one person? What are you saying? Quid. Quid dicis. Quid dicis. I say nothing. I'm saying nothing. Nihil dico. Nihil dico. The master says hello. Dominus dicit salve. That would be in quotes. Dominus salve dicit. The master says hello to the gladiator. To the gladiator is going to be, you're saying something to someone, going to be dative. Dominus salve dicit gladiatori. Dominus gladiatori salve dicit. We've not used this verb, have we? Nuntiare. The master announces the victory. What about that? The master announces the victory. Dominus victoriam, accusative, nuntiat. Remember, the I is just a part of the verb, so that needs to stay. Take off the are. Nuntiat. Nuntio, nuntias, nuntiat. Nuntiat. Dominus nuntiat, he announces. Dominus victoriam nuntiat. The master announces the victory to his son. Typically, when you announce something, you're announcing something to someone. So a bit like with giving to someone, you're going to get a dative, an indirect object. So to his son, filius, is going to be a dative, filio. Dominus victoriam, filio nuntiat. Dominus filio, victoriam nuntiat. The slave announces the fight to the farmers. Agricola. The slave announces the fight to the farmers. Servus. Pugnam, accusative. Pugnam nuntiat. Pugnam nuntiat. To the farmers. Agricol, can you remember? Agricolis, is, dative plural, agricolis. Servus, agricolis, pugnam nuntiat. Servus, agricolis, pugnam nuntiat. All right. What about the master announces the war to the matron? The master announces the war to the matron. Dominus bellum nuntiat. It's a neuter word, so it just stays the same in the accusative. It's already so you can't do anything else to it. Matronai, dative, first declension. Matrona becomes matronai, to the matron. Dominus matronai bellum nuntiat. Dominus matronai bellum nuntiat. So, let's revise our verbs. Invitare, invitare, nuntiare. Nuntiare, first conjugation. Timere, iubere. To fear, to order. Temere, iubere. Second conjugation. Correre, dicere. Correre, to run. Dicere, to say. Okay? And let's just practice a little bit of conjugation before we finish. Let's take nuntiare and let's just conjugate it according to this pattern here. It's going to go nuntio, nuntias, nuntiat. Nuntiamus, nuntiatis, nuntiant. Again. Nuntio, nuntias, nuntiat. Nuntiamus, nuntiatis, nuntiant. Very good. Let's do timere, to fear or to be afraid of. And you can go straight to your direct object. In English we put the little word of. You don't need that in Latin. You just say timeo plus the thing in the accusative, like we said leonem before. So timere, timeo, times, timet, timemus, timetis, tement, timeo, times, timet, timemus, timetis, tement. Very good. Let's do one. What about correre, to run? Correre. Cor, so you get your double R. Corro, corris, corrit. Corremus, corritis, corrunt. Corro, corris, corrit. Corremus, corritis, corrunt. Very good, guys. Okay, so I hope this has been a useful little revision session for your 3 conjugations covered thus far with the endings and just a few new verbs for our collection. So, thanks for joining me. Hope you've enjoyed. Please like this video if that's been the case. Subscribe if you haven't already, guys. And I look forward to seeing you very soon in the next video. Gratias vobis ago et valete.